I love great conversations. Hi, my name is Angel Jones. Thank you for joining me on 12-minute convos where I help you create a brand of your own unique, real self. Listen in as I have conversations with amazing people from all over the world. Good night, Cathy Smith. How are you going on this wonderful, beautiful night?
I am doing fantastic.
Well, it's a great pleasure to connect with you, Cathy. What part of the world are you in right now?
I am in Maryland, just outside of Washington, D.C.
All right. And which of your talents is responsible for us connecting?
Podcasting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us about your podcast, please.
So my podcast is called The P.R.I.M.E Show, which stands for PR and Internet Marketing for Entrepreneurs Show.
Who came up with that name?
Me.
That's good.
Initially, I started out with a co-host, and she did public relations, but we had done a workshop together before and called it the P.R.I.M.E Workshop. So we just decided to call it the P.R.I.M.E Show.
Yeah, I love the acronym.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So who did you learn the skill of podcasting from?
Actually, I kind of like self-taught myself about podcasting because I had wanted to be on blog talk radio, and that didn't work out. And I love Raheem Devon, and he live streamed his he live streamed his show through Facebook before like the Facebook Live was even popular, because this was about 4 years ago. And I was like, oh, how did he do that? And so I went to the website because, I'm a techie. So I went to the website and saw that it was through Bliss.fm, which was a fairly new internet radio station. So for about almost close to just shy of 3 years, I recorded my podcast in a live studio.
Wow. How fun was that, right?
It was nice. And people wanted to come, because it was a live studio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is you podcasting live and then throwing out the feed thereafter, or was it going live onto iTunes as well?
No, I recorded it live, and then at the station they uploaded to iTunes the next day.
Oh, the next
day.
Okay.
Yeah. So all I had to do was I had a call-in number and everything. All I had to do was show up.
Yeah. I could do with an arrangement like that right now. Definitely can. Well, tell me then, you've switched from that model to, I'm guessing, the home model, right?
Yes, the home model. Totally different.
Yeah, it's all you now. Which do you prefer?
Oh, definitely the studio. But, that came with a cost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. So why will you continue to podcast in spite of the challenges that may come with being at home right now?
It gave me an opportunity to interview everyone from the everyday guest to celebrity guests. So being at the radio station, I had the opportunity to interview MC Light, Ann Nesby. She used to be with the Sounds of Blackness and Speech from Arrested Development. And I met Dougie Fresh and Mesa, the jazz singer. I went to a listening party for the launch of her CD, but I also had Jennifer Abernathy. She read, because I do social media training, the Idiot's Guide to Social Media. I think I got the name of that title right. So it gave me an opportunity to meet people all across the world and share my knowledge. So that's why we continue to do it.
Well, do tell me one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years.
Social media training. So before I would I wanted my show to be a little different. So what I would do before I interview the guests, I would give social media and online marketing tips, often just keeping people abreast of all the changes on social media. But sometimes I would give tips or have my strategies relate to whatever the guest whatever the profession of the guest or the business owner. So a lot of times I would interject a segment called "What's app with that?" So what app would support you and or the guest if the guest didn't have their own app? What could you use? So if I had a financial expert, I might have, an app for return on investment or something like that. But that type of thing.
So you're doing these podcasts. Like I got to listen to one that you did recently, and it's intriguing. You're asking questions where you're listening deeply to the answers. Which is your favorite? Is it the information that you're getting, or is it more the information that you get to give your audience?
Actually, it is the information I get to give my audience. And I learned a little bit in the process too, but really for me, it's about serving the audience and having people across all different spectrums, brick and mortar, online, um, online. So,
Why would you suggest someone do that, Kathy? Build around their business a format where they are giving back to their customers.
uh, I, s- I think it builds your know, like, and trust factor. And even people that aren't business friends started listening to the podcast, and they were like, "Well, Kathy, I didn't know those things." So that was pretty cool. Because I did have somebody tell me nobody wants to hear the tips in the beginning. Why don't you just get straight to the interview? But then I'm just like, most people. So I mean, I think the key is you have to do you, if you know, that makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense. A lot of sense. Where's the best place for people to connect with you, Kathy, and your podcast?
So I am Kathy with the C, E Smith, all over social media. And or going to kathyesmith.com, and that's Kathy with the C, middle initial E Smith.com. And I am going to rebrand that site um in the next 2 months. So you'll see some different things that will better serve people. And also, I might mention that I am going to also rebrand my podcast. And yeah, I'm going to rebrand my podcast, and it's going to be called Create Internet Buzz.
CIB. All right. Sounds like fun. Well, Kathy, let's switch gears for a moment now and let me invite you into my time machine that is
Okay.
surrounded with beautiful, warm blue Caribbean water. Kathy, what is your earliest childhood memory?
Actually, it's kind of funny. Earliest childhood memory, I would say, was my mom getting pulled over for a speeding ticket
Oh, really?
while she was pregnant with my brother, and she had just picked me up from nursery school. So I have a lot of early childhood, but that seemed to stand out to me because I guess if you know my mother, she doesn't like break the speed limit when she drives.
So, how old do you think you were?
Um, I was about four, four
Uh,
and a half. Yeah.
Intriguing. And you remember this. All right. So, and you remember she was pregnant. So, why do you think this memory is so clear?
I don't know. I think maybe because she actually got pulled over, and I think once the cop saw she was pregnant, he didn't give her a ticket. I don't know.
Ooh,
I don't know. But
that's intriguing.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All right. I hear crickets. If we fast forward to when you were 12 years old, what was your favorite song?
Actually, my favorite song, great question, was "I Need Your Lovin'" by Tina Marie. When I was young, I just used to sing all of her songs, and I thought I was going to grow up to be this fabulous singer. That did not happen. But yeah, that was like my favorite song down there in around that time.
All right, Cathy. Well, we've now arrived at our destination, but before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form, so it's yes or no, possibly a bit more. We're going to move pretty quickly here. Are you ready, Cathy?
I'm ready.
Cathy, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
Yes.
Are you married?
Yes, I'm married, and I don't have any children.
Okay. Do you believe in God?
Yes, absolutely.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Yes.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
No.
How about 3 hours a week?
Yes.
What about screen time, the phone and or the computer? More than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
Less than 8 hours a day, but my husband probably would disagree with that.
He's like,
I often fall asleep.
It feels more like 8. It feels more than 8.
Exactly. A lot of times I fall asleep in the chair with the laptop open to something.
Wow. All right. Cathy, after 1,001 conversations in 3 months in 2016, I came up with a workbook thereafter with an acronym similar to P.R.I.M.E, right? My acronym is yours, and it stands for your own unique real self, with the idea that you answer questions that connect you with your own unique real statement. If you had to share with us, Cathy, your own unique real statement, a statement that represents who you are, what would you say that is?
My own personal statement, I can only relate it to business. So I would say that I like expanding people's online, well, business owners in particular, and entrepreneurs. I like expanding their online presence by helping them get in front of the right audience with the right tools and on the right platform.
Love it. Cathy, this was a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
No, I just thank you for the opportunity, and I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Cathy Smith, thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. Thank you for being on 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. Stay tuned for more from our advertisers.
Diabetes is a mountain pandemic. It's a disease that's not acute but chronic. Similar to this rhyming method, I have simplified the definition, the signs and symptoms, and the complications of diabetes for both adults and children in my books, Poems for Patients, A Focus on Diabetes, and The ABCs of Diabetes for Children. These books are available on Amazon.com, and for more information, you can visit my website, poemsbyaj.com. That's poemsbyaj.com.